Number 5, Rosie's building a wheelchair ramp that is 24 feet long and 2 feet high. She needs to install a vertical support piece 8 feet from the end of the ramp. What is the length of the support in inches? Okay. As I was reading that, I noticed that they talked about everything in feet, but they want inches. So at the end, we'll have to convert the feet that we get into inches. So whenever I have similar figures, because these both have a right angle and then they both contain this little bitty acute angle, similar figures are proportional. So whenever you need to find a missing side, it wants this little bitty height, I'm going to set up a proportion. We've got the small triangle that is 8 and then has a height that I don't know. So I'm going to draw that out to the side. Going to label it as the small. And then I've got that larger triangle. Whenever you draw your little picture, it doesn't have to be as large. It just has to be larger than the first one or the small one that you drew. This time they were nice to me and they actually gave me the full length instead of those pieces that I had to add up. So y'all be careful whenever you work these by yourself and make sure that the base number you're grabbing for the big one actually does span all the way across. So 24 here, oh, this is in feet. And its height is 2 feet. Okay, so I'm going to set up my proportion just over here. On your picture, label small and large, and I'm going to set up small over large, blank equals blank, and I have the base on both of them, so that's where my first numbers are going to come from, because I like those to be filled in with numbers. And then my missing part was on the height, so I'm going to do those last. Okay, so the small base is the number I need first. So that was labeled as 8. The large base right here is labeled as 24. The small height is the unknown. Just leave it as H like they did. The large height I have is 2. Okay, so whenever you've got your numbers filled in, you're going to multiply the numbers that are diagonal. So I'm going to be doing 8 times 2, which is 16, and then you divide by that leftover number. In this case, they both can, I didn't want to divide it and get a decimal, I'm just going to keep it as a fraction. I can reduce them both by 8. I'm just going to divide it because I don't want to use my calculator. 16 divided by 8 is 2. 24 divided by 8 is 3. So I've got 2/3 of a foot because all my information was in feet. But my question said, what is the length of the support piece in inches? To go from feet to inches, well, I know 1 foot is 12 inches. So to get from here to here, that's like times 12. So I'm going to times this by 12. 2 times 12 is 24. 3 times the bottom number, which is a 1, gives me a 3. So 24 divided by 3 is going to give me 8 inches. And I only had to convert it because they wanted inches. If they wouldn't have asked for inches, I would have given it back to them in feet since they gave me everything in feet. Okay, number 6. The lower cable meets the tree at a height of 6 feet and extends out 16 feet from the base of the tree. If the triangles are similar, how tall is the tree? Okay, they were nice enough to draw it for me, but they weren't so nice as to label everything with the information. So sometimes you might actually have to draw the picture by yourself. Sometimes you'll just have to add the numbers on there. So let's see. lower cable meets the tree at a height of 6. So here's my lower cable. It's meeting the tree at a height of 6 feet. Okay. And extends out 16 feet from the base of the tree. So from here, it goes out 16 feet for that little length, little base number. So it was asking if the triangles are similar. I know similar triangles have sides that are proportional, so I can solve it with a proportion. How tall is the tree? Okay, so on the big triangle here, whoa, I need to get its height. Whenever they're combined like this in the same picture, it's going to be better for your brain to draw them separately for you to set up your proportion. So the little one was 6 feet by 16 feet. And the larger right triangle is going to be, they told me the span across the whole bottom part is 56 feet, but they were missing this height. Okay, so you want to label small and large to help me set up my proportion. Okay, small over large. Blank equals blank. I want my first ratio to be numbers that are actually filled in on both triangles. So I noticed that they do both have their base. And then the other part was about height. Okay. Use my purple. So the small base is 16. The large base is 56. The small height is 6. And the large height is missing. Okay, so I'm always going to pick out the numbers that are diagonal, and I'm going to multiply them. So 56 times 6 is 336. And then I'm going to divide by the number I haven't used yet. So divided by 16, this is 21. Okay, they were asking for how tall is the tree, so all the information was in feet, so I'm going to answer that this is also in feet.